U.S. President Joe Biden was direct in his message late last month to Russian President Vladimir Putin about the country's detention of two American journalists, Ivan Gorshkovich and Alsu Kurmasheva.
Journalism is clearly not a crime, not here, not there, not anywhere in the world.
But as the cases of Gorshkovich and Kurmasheva show, media are at risk. Media watchdog Reporters Without Borders echoes this sentiment in its newly released 2024 Press Freedom Index, which finds that threats from governments are the biggest challenge to journalism. Moscow's tight grip on media since its invasion of Ukraine keeps Russia low on the index. Censorship and threats of legal action have prompted the exile of more than 1,500 of its journalists since February 24, 2022, according to Reporters Without Borders, or RSF.
The free press is a thing of the past in Russia. It is virtually impossible to operate openly as an independent journalist in Russia.
At the Washington National Press Club, President Emily Wilkins says the rising risk should be a concern to everyone.
We have seen journalists being murdered for their work in previous years. We've seen a number of other harassments, threats made to reporters. And so I think on the whole, there is a rising concern about press freedom, both in the U.S. and abroad.
In the U.S., a police raid of a Kansas newsroom, hostile rhetoric and arrest of journalists covering protests led to the country's dropping 10 places in the 2024 index.
There seems to be this growing culture of acceptability or permissibility towards attacking the media. And we see it especially at the local level. We see local politicians railing against their local newsrooms and their local journalists. We see local law enforcement carrying out pretty shocking actions against local reporters.
Argentina, Peru, and El Salvador also saw declines. In those countries, says RSF, political pressure and an environment hostile to journalists are common. Afghanistan fell 26 places to the third worst in the world for press freedom. Taliban directives on media and women make it increasingly hard to work there, say journalists. China, too, remains near the bottom, and its influence is spreading, says RSF. In Hong Kong, pro-democracy publisher Jimmy Lai is on trial under the national security law introduced by Beijing. He faces life in prison if convicted.
We're very concerned that China is setting itself up as an export model for anti-democratic values that clamp down on press freedom and freedom of speech.
With dozens of countries due to hold elections this year, RSF says the decline in political actors coming to the defense of press freedom is a troubling trend. Even Norway and Ireland, which have historically good records, saw a drop in the rankings. Cristina Caicedo Smit, VOA News.